Look critically at that book, Finding Freedom, because as we know, all they're trying to do is find some freebies. Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. Happy to have you here today with me. I had someone in the comments section ask me, what is that book behind you? And rather than go back and find who it was that said that, I just thought I would just kind of highlight the book. This is a portrait book about Princess Diana. The foreword is done by Nelson Mandela. And, you know, it's like a coffee table book. You just kind of have a lot of pretty pictures of her talking about her fashion and things that were going on in her life. It's just, you know, very interesting book. I really like this book. It's a beautiful picture of her on the back here. So this is the book that I keep behind me. I wanted to say that the irony of so many things about Princess Diana and my own life experiences. I may have mentioned this before or may not have mentioned it, but I actually lived in the UK when Princess Diana died. And I'll talk more about it when I go through pictures that I took during that time on my membership page. But I'll just mention basically that my experiences living in the UK as a Black woman and a woman who actually looked Black, ain't no question about me being Black. So there is a difference. I had no bad experiences. The people in the UK were very nice to me. I worked in the UK. I had a boss that was a white man who was very, very British. Sometimes I could hardly understand what the man was saying. I was like, I'm gonna lose my job. I can't understand what he's saying. But it was a good experience. And so when I see issues with Meghan and her issues with racism in the UK, it is just so perplexing to me. It is so perplexing. But, you know, I don't want to always have to rehash the same thing about, but look what she did. Look how she's behaving. Sometimes I just get sick of that because it's like you need to understand the severity of the situation. She's behaving badly. That's the issue. And so I've had people in my family. And let me just take my glasses off. I've had people in my family who actually think this girl was treated badly. Are you serious? But here's the problem. This is the problem, you guys. They don't really follow the royal family. They just kind of see glimpses and glances and pass-bys and, a story. But they're not really looking at the situation like I'm looking at the situation. So they don't know all the backstory. They just see all this fluff. They see this book, Finding Freedom, and they hear what the people are saying about finding freedom. And they hear what Mr. Omid Scobie is saying about finding freedom, how it was unfortunate that they lost an opportunity to really do right by Meghan. That, when I heard him say that, I wanted to wring his neck. Because you know what it is? It's someone coming into your house and they are behaving badly. That is what is happening. I have family members that they just don't really understand the backstory. So we have to really call out her behavior as being bad. Because let me tell you something, ain't nobody going to allow someone to come into their house and behave badly. If you came into my house and I'm feeding you and I'm giving you a free meal and you come into my house and you're going to just act all kind of like you want to act in my house and I'm feeding you, I'm going to get upset with that. Right? And this is what has happened. The Queen has tried. And, you know, this is what my family members will say. They'll be like, well, I can tell those Brits, those stiff upper lip people, and they're so high and mighty and blah, 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 blah. Okay. That can be the case because I know when my Princess Diana was in there, I was saying the same thing. However, the royal family They're trying. They tried. And you have to look at someone who has made mistakes in the past, and you have to see how they are trying to be better. I mean, they let the man marry a woman of color. Give them some credit for that. The fact that they said yes. How is that being not nice to Meghan? So anyway, you let someone come into your house and they're going to be behaving badly, and they're going to call you out like, you served chicken and I wanted salmon. Why did you serve chicken? I wanted salmon. Wouldn't you be looking at them like, what? I'm giving you a free meal and you're going to come in here in my house and you're going to complain about the chicken? Like, wouldn't you get upset about that? This is essentially what is happening. So this is how you can really tell how things started to change for the royal family. So Meghan comes and she's sitting down in their house. They're feeding her a free meal and they serve up some chicken. And she's like, well, why are you serving me chicken? I want salmon. You should be giving me salmon. And then the royal family are like, well, we're having chicken and we don't care that you want salmon. We're having chicken. Now, from that moment on, what would your attitude be like? How would you behave after that dinner? Would you be like still trying to, be nice and accommodate the girl? Or would you be like, now look, you behaved badly at that dinner table. We're not appreciating your behavior. From that moment on, wouldn't you be like a little disappointed with her behavior, how she behaved? So that's what I see. I see, if anything, the royal family tried. They tried to come at Meghan from a way that was a little bit more flexible. They tried to accommodate her. But when she came into their house and started behaving badly, they kind of started like, wait a minute. You can't do that. They started looking at her with the side eye because she was behaving badly. So we can't get upset at the royal family for sticking to their authentic self because she wants to change her behavior and be bad and rude and disrespectful. So, of course, you can't always fault the royal family. So in this book, Finding Freedom, they're trying to fault the royal family for not being better at accommodating her. Well, they didn't want to keep accommodating somebody that was acting like a fool. Okay? But an outsider might say, they were so mean to her when she came for dinner. They treated her so bad. And she was being very nice to them. All she said was, why didn't you feed me salmon? And the people on the outside don't really see or hear that the girl said, I wanted salmon. Why did you feed me chicken? Okay? So the people on the outside, they don't hear the conversation at the table. Right? Like we hear the conversation because we can see everything that we've been following is painting a very clear picture of who this Meghan girl is. Right? Who this Meghan girl is. But they only see this Meghan girl in the background and they don't see all this stuff over here that she's doing. They see, oh, she's a woman of color. And we can see that the British royal family, they are stiff upper lip, stuck up rich people, white people who just are being mean to that girl of color. That's what they see. But I'm here to tell you, folks. I am here to tell you. Wake up. Wake up and look at the situation. You can't always look at somebody and say it's their color. At the end of the day, or at some point in the day, you have got to look at someone's behavior. Yeah. How are they acting? And it's so unfortunate for the royal family that they had to get this woman of color. Because now this Omid people can come out and say they just weren't not nice to her. They tried, that British royal family, they tried. But they failed at trying to bring this woman of color into their family. And they just failed in all kind of ways. But you're not looking at what they did do. You're not looking at the fact that they said, yes, he can marry her. They're not looking at the fact that they broke a lot of rules for her. Things that they didn't even let Catherine do. So it just is so mind-boggling to me that people can have an opinion about something that they really don't really look at the full picture. And it's so like, ooh, like wanna just, that's what you wanna do, right? That's what you wanna do, because I know that's what I wanna do. I'm like, what is the solution? What can we get out of this debacle of misrepresentation, of this fraud of a woman of color? Because that's what she is. She's a fraud. And I know her character because I've lived her lifestyle as an actress in LA and what she is trying to do. I see it. My glasses are clear. My prescription is right. They wiped off clean, and I can see it very clear who she is. I see it. But some people, they don't got their glasses on, or if they do, they're all smudged, or they're too busy to really pay attention. They'll look and they'll be doing what they do, but then they'll look, oh, okay, why are they doing that to that girl? Then they go on doing what they do. You're just going to have people that are just never going to look at them for who they are. And especially really Meghan, because poor Harry, he's just all along for the ride because he got somebody who is going to just lead the way, give him the courage to do what he really just couldn't do by himself. So in a sense, I think he's weak. He's just doing what Meghan tells him to do, and she's leading the way, and she's just the wrong woman. She is the wrong woman of color to really be in the royal family. Because like I said before, Meghan didn't just wake up and see she was married to a prince. She made a conscious decision and a choice to marry into an institution that has had its rules and regulations and its protocols and its way of doing things for over 1,000 years. She made that choice. So you cannot expect this institution to come out now and just change everything for this woman of color because she's having a bad day or she wants things to be a certain kind of way. And we can see she wants it to be a certain kind of way because of who she is. She's using this as a platform for her own self-promotion. That's just what it is. So it's like a mixture of just some things that just kind of came together and created this nonsense. I don't have that mindset to use people to, at whatever cost, get what you want for fame. Because to me, the reality hit me when I really went into pursue a career of acting. When I left my hometown and went to California, like the reality of what it really was hit me. And I saw it like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this acting thing in California. Like, I don't know if I want that to be me, because it will change you. It's unfortunate that I think Meghan was able to break through and to use people the way she's doing, because it's not as if she's an unknown using people. The real problem becomes the fact that she is doing it as a role model. She's able to use people in the institution and to call out this fake racism on a global stage where she has young kids of impressionable ages who are able to look at her and think she's a role model. But they don't see her conniving. They don't see how undercut she is with her attitude and her behavior. So they're being used too. They're looking at a false image. It's like, you know, when you're in the desert and you think you see some water, but you really don't see water. You just delusional because you want water so bad you see water. That's what it is. They're seeing a mirage. They're seeing something that's just not really there authentically. And the people that are impressionable, young girls, especially young black girls, just really, a lot of them don't see Meghan for what she is. And to all the people that are her fans that can say, leave her alone, leave my Meghan alone, y'all being mean to her. Those are people who don't have the mindset to see clearly or think critically enough to understand what they are seeing. So they're behaving like bad brats, kicking and screaming, calling people out, being very mean in a very childish kind of way. because they just haven't developed their critical thinking skills to really understand the what Meghan has done. And no one's really here to hate on Meghan like that. Some people are, but I'm not here to hate on her. I'm here to call out her behavior only because it's dangerous to have someone like her perpetrating the way she is. And she's got young, impressionable black girls following this nonsense. This hypocrisy, deceiving, lying, undercut, narcissistic, flat out just devious, defiant behavior. I'm calling it out. I'm like, you cannot do that. That is so wrong. She should have come into this royal family knowing that she was there to support the people of the UK. She was there to support the Queen and her efforts. She was there to follow the rules. She was not there to break mold and to try to do what she wants to do and to use it as her own personal pedestal for her own fame and celebrity. And that Harry, I could just knock him upside the head for being so stupid. Because it's really his fault. It's his fault. It's like, dude, would you just wake up and stop being so ignorant to this woman? Because she is really doing a doozy on you. But he gonna find out. He gonna see. She gonna do the same thing to him. And just like Meghan was trying to call out her ex-husband, like, well, he was mad because I was becoming a celebrity. Girl, shut up. That man was not jealous of you. See, she trying to just make it everybody else's fault. But when are you going to call out your own behavior? When is Harry going to stop saying people need to stop being racist and social media needs to be called out? When are you going to start looking at your own behavior? Like what you are doing? Hello? Ain't nobody looking at you. Like, what are you supposed to be, the voice of reason? And all of your crazy nonsense behavior when you were being a racist? And now you want to tell people they need to stop being racist? When you have been a racist, but you don't want to say, oh, I'm sorry, I made mistakes too. Like, people, guys, you cannot excuse this behavior. I don't care how much you want a black woman to be on that pedestal of global notoriety. You got to look at her behavior and what she is doing. This is very dangerous. And for celebrities to get behind it, I haven't seen that they have. So they probably like saying the same thing. But for anyone to get behind Meghan's behavior and to support that, shame on you. Coming out with this book, Finding Freedom, like it's really her talking about everything that she's wanted to say and going to lie and say that they had nothing to do with it. Well, if you had nothing to do with it, why is she not suing? We know she sues everybody under the sun for coming out and saying stuff, but she's not suing the people that wrote that Finding Freedom. She's not suing her friends who spoke to that Omid and Carolyn. So think critically, folks. Think critically, like, well, if she had nothing to do with it, then why is she not suing these people? Or not calling out her friends or coming out with a statement that really is a statement like, my friends, they came out and they said all these things to this Omid and Carolyn. We had nothing to do with it. And how dare they betray my trust and say all these personal details. She's not saying that. She is not saying that. So what point do you say, oh, wait a minute, let me think. Maybe, just maybe she had something to do with it. And then she gonna lie. She gonna lie. Like, you cannot accept that behavior. You know what? Look, I was going to read this article and now I done just gone off on a tangent. And I don't like my videos to be too long. But I just feel like the Queen, I feel sorry for the Queen. Before, I would have been calling the Queen out when it was my Princess Diana. But we know that's a whole different story. We know that this Meghan she's doing wrong. And the poor royal family, they done been caught between a rock and a hard spot. Like, we can't look like racists, but we also can't let her just do what she want to do. So they really need people to really come out and say something. And I just feel like I'm just rehashing the same thing over. I'm just getting sick of them being so bad and just, ooh, it just makes me so upset because when you have giving people like this so much power, they do bad things. They do bad things, right? And we cannot put power behind Meghan. We already got Harry. He lost. Harry done been whooped and messed upside the head. He lost. We know it's his fault that we in this predicament because he had to go marry that black girl. Okay, that black girl. You know, you need to. And your brother was trying to help you, and he gonna behave badly, get upset, and we know Meghan is jealous of Kate, and you know Kate, she just so like doing what she's supposed to do, but yeah, she gonna be conniving like I don't like that Meghan. She like Kate ain't doing that. Kate just doing what she's supposed to do because she know how to follow the rules. But yeah, you got Meghan over here trying to make blame on Kate. It's exhausting. Sometimes my voice can't be loud enough on this YouTube channel. It just can't be loud enough because I really want to scream to the rooftops.
You guys, she's a fraud. She's a fraud. Wake up. You cannot believe what she is saying. She perpetrating, y'all. She perpetrating. Don't listen to her.
You know what? You guys? I am just going to have to just keep doing me. Take a breath and calm down. Because I don't want to get my blood pressure up. And my hand, I got this arthritis and it's still not healing. Because I'm just the stress. I can't, I'm almost getting ready to lose my hand over this nonsense. Okay? So we've got to get this under control. We got to get it under control. What are we going to do? I don't know. Just keep talking about it. Try to educate your family and the people who think sideways and who you got to look at the side eye. Like for real. No, Okay, I was going to read this this article from the Queen. I'm going to make that another video because I didn't realize I was so passionate. Like I sit down and I start getting ready to talk to you guys, and then I just stuff popping in my head, like, and then I start just vomiting at the mouth all these things I've been thinking rather than staying on task and just reading my story. But I'm kind of glad I had this moment to just kind of get a few things out because it just had to happen. It just had to happen. And I like to find that I am a person of good behavior. I try to be a good person. No one's perfect. But when you're making this many mistakes, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And we done found ourselves something that is very wrong with this Meghan and her husband. She got by the leash called Windsor Harry. Okay? And just lost. He just lost, you guys. The man just don't know what to do with himself. He just gonna follow her, whatever she say. Whatever she say. He's just giving her way too much power. She didn't took over and the world has gone crazy. From my little pedestal, from my little rooftop, I'm just gonna call out the bad behavior. I'm going to look at nonsense and I'm going to call out nonsense in the best, most respectable way as I can, because I don't want to come across as being a mean and devious person, because that is not my behavior, my character. But when I see someone behaving badly, I am going to talk about it. Yes, I am. It's like a child that you love. You love your child, but your child is acting bad and you going to call your child out and you going to be like, no, you better check that. So I'm here to tell Miss Meghan, girl, you better check that. Turn around, change your behavior, and become a better person. You have way too much power right now with that crazy Harry behind you to go out acting like this and lying and being deceitful. It's just wrong to do because you perpetrate. You ain't nothing like what you trying to make people see. And that book, Finding Freedom, girl, you better take that book and come out and be right with people. Because we still looking at you with the side eye. Be better, girl. Be better. Okay? Stop it. You're driving me crazy.